In the heart of the savannah, where the golden grasses sway and the sun rises in all its glory, lives Leo, the mighty lion. His roar echoes through the land, a testament to his strength and power. Leo is the king of this vast domain, a symbol of courage and might. His every step is filled with purpose, his every action a display of raw power. With unparalleled grace, Leo hunts, each movement calculated, each decision sharp. He is the master of his fate, the ruler of his world. But there are those creatures around him that don't even know his name. They call him Coco. And instead of letting him eat his prey, they give him this unworthy leftover food meant for lesser animals. At least they gave him a place high up on the second floor, so all the animals outside can see how tall and mighty he is. And even mighty kings need a little pampering sometimes. Of course, someone must also celebrate the historical day this mighty king was born.
Yeah, my cat just had his first birthday, but that's not what we talk about today. Today it's about Artlist's new voiceover feature, or AI voiceover feature, which is actually good because all the other AI voiceovers that I heard in the past were something missing, like they either were pronounced a bit bad or sounded a little bit robotic overall, and Artlist seemed to have finally solved that, because you could hear it by yourself in the beginning. It was all done with this voiceover feature, and to me it sounds very good. So in this video I will tell you how I created this intro part of this video using this voiceover feature. We'll also share my thoughts about it with you and tell you who I think it is for, because there are also a few downsides to it, and I think it's important to know about them so that you can make a decision if this feature is for you or not. Let's get into it. Okay, a little fun fact here, it only took me about 3 to 4 hours to come up or create this whole sequence at the beginning, including the scripting, because I used ChatGPT and this AI voiceover feature a lot. It actually wrote the whole first part of the script, and that was actually pretty quick, like it figured that out instantly. But ChatGPT struggled a bit with the transition to actually showing the cat, like it always wanted to talk about it instead of just showing it. It didn't really know how to continue the voiceover from there, but I think talking about it just takes the joke out of the script. Like you just have to show the transition and let the rest speak for itself. This is why I continued writing a few lines in the script for ChatGPT so that it knew better what I wanted to do, and then I copied the whole script again into ChatGPT and told it, okay, that is the script as far as I have it now, so let's write the rest of the script so that we have a proper ending there. And from there it was actually super straightforward. I just went to this voiceover part of Artlist, selected a voice there, like they have quite a few voices that match different scenarios depending on your video.
They say life's a journey, but they never tell you what kind of road you're gonna find yourself on.
From the cutting edge of innovation to the pinnacle of luxury, Future was her name.
Being the best means working hard.
And from there you can also make some settings, like for example you can define the emotional range, which essentially means that you can increase the emotional expression while it reads the script instead of having a rather flat, less pronounced one. It's hard to describe, but I hope you get what I mean. And then you can also select how original or how similar the voiceover should be to the original voice. So I don't 100% understand what that means, but I guess it is like it means the voice that you hear in the preview, and then you can choose how close it should be to that voice. To be honest, when I change that independently, I don't hear a big difference. Maybe that's also because it's in beta, but my guess is that they want to include this feature so that you have a bit of variation from the original preview, so that not all voiceovers from all sorts of creators sound the same. And then there's also the style boost, like those different voices have different styles. videos. Like one is a bit more documentary, the other one is a bit more for ads, etc. So with that feature, you can also enhance it a little bit. It puts a bit more emphasis on that certain style. But again, it's hard for me to really put in words how it changes it, so I just ended up changing the settings around until I was happy with the result. And I actually downloaded different versions of the same voiceover and used different parts of it to put them together in the final timeline, because sometimes I figured out that the voiceovers had certain parts that sound really good, but then other parts, pronunciation could have been a bit better, or it was just spoken too fast or too slow, and they are also just copied from different versions of the same voiceover together in the final timeline, so that I was happy with the results. So it's not that it sounds perfect right out of the box, but overall you can get there pretty quickly. Then I use stock footage from Artlist, which is actually nice about Artlist because they have music, they have stock footage, sound effects, they have voiceovers now, and they even have templates and plugins available. And their stock footage is actually really good because you probably recognize that I color grade in HDR now, and to do so I need stock footage and generally shots that have a log profile, and Artlist allows you to download, I think, all or even most of their footage in log and sometimes even raw, and that makes a big difference for workflows like that. And yeah, after that I just had to insert the music, some sound effects, and color grade it, of course, and there you could see the final results. So using this feature was actually super easy and fast, and that leads us to the question what I think of it. There's at first the quality, and honestly when I listen to it, it sounds perfectly fine to me. Maybe some audiophiles would complain because you can only download it as an MP3 file, and as far as I've seen, only in 44.1 kilohertz. But again, like, it sounds perfectly fine to me, and I would not even edit the audio because it sounds so good. But again, it's in beta, so maybe they will let you download WAV files with 48 kilohertz or something like that in the future as well. I don't know anything about it though. And then aside from that, what I would wish is that we would have a little bit more control over how the voiceover is spoken. So maybe that we can mark certain parts of the script bold, and then the AI knows that it should emphasize those parts a little bit more, like maybe speaking a little bit louder or a little bit more energetic or so. And what I would also love to have under the settings would be a speed slider, because sometimes it might be that the script is spoken a bit too fast or too slow. Having direct control over that would also be great. And in the long run, I told them that already, there would be one feature that I would really wish for, and that is that we could model our own voice there, so that essentially you just send it the script and it creates a voiceover that sounds exactly like your voice. Because like recently I recorded a voiceover for a new video that's coming out soon, a tutorial, 35 minutes, and I recorded nearly a day on that to really get it to where I want it to be, like that it's all pronounced well, etc. And I think even with such a long script, I could have probably reduced the time using this voiceover feature maybe to 1 hour, maximum 1.5. But as mentioned before, I wrote them already and they told me that's not planned yet, but maybe let's push them a little bit, because I think the technology that they have there to make it sound that natural is actually great. And if there's somehow a way to be able to create your own voiceover style there to model your voice, that would actually be a game changer. I know there are already some platforms that do that I tried recently, but none of them actually gave me the results I wanted to, so I would rather record my voiceovers myself than doing that. But yeah, if we finally get that to a level where it sounds good, then I would certainly consider doing that. So much about what I think Artlist could still improve up on, but these are like minor things. Like overall, when I created this voiceover for the intro here, I was super impressed by how easy it is to use already and how it sounds. So really thumbs up here. And now, of course, talking about really downside, I think the only downside that I can really see there is that freelancers on Fiverr and other platforms that record voiceovers might in the future not get many jobs anymore, because with AI it becomes so easy to do that. And I think now that Artlist has that, there will probably be more companies doing stuff like that in the future. So that's the only downside I can really think about. But I must also say that with all the AI stuff, it would also be wrong not to improve that, because overall we want to have everything faster, better, and more accessible for everyone. And to me, it really seems like that AI does exactly that, because with AI voiceovers, for example, you don't need a microphone anymore, you don't need a sound treated room anymore, that it all sounds good. You just type in a text there and it works. and maybe many other people would actually make YouTube or other platforms a full-time job in the future thanks to features like that. So it's always like, yeah, for some people it's bad, for other people it's actually really good. And let's answer the last question, who do I think is this AI voiceover feature for? I think for personal brands or content creators like myself, it is only useful for certain videos because, again, I need to have my own voice on the channel. It's my content. It is personal and therefore it has to have my own voice. Again, like I don't care if the voice will be in the future created from an AI or if it's actually spoken by myself, as long as it sounds exactly like me and the script and my thoughts, it's all personal, it's authentic, but I couldn't just use a completely different voice for voiceovers in my videos, so that's a limiting factor here. But I still think that for creators like myself it can be beneficial because sometimes maybe I want to have a voice of someone else that narrates parts of my videos, that maybe talks about me or so it feels a bit like another person would actually tell the story while I'm the main character and I'm acting in the video itself. So it basically makes it easy for content creators to add different angles and different ways of telling stories to their videos. But people where I think that this feature is actually very interesting for maybe even all of their videos is commercial filmmakers. Like oftentimes you have to have voiceovers there for advertisements or stuff like that, and that makes it a bit easier and cheaper for you overall. And then also documentary filmmakers, for example, if you do a very low budget documentary and you want to have a voice in there that's different from your voice because maybe your voice just doesn't fit the documentary style or so, then that could also be a great way of adding that without spending too much money. Because let's say you have a 1-hour documentary and that's all narrated, that can actually cost a lot of money if you have to hire a freelancer, and with that you don't have to do that anymore. And where it could also be great is for e-learning and corporate training videos and stuff, because for example, if you want to train people in your company, then they don't really care if an AI speaks or if it's an actual human being. So this is actually a case where I think it's totally worth using voiceovers like that. And also if you're a freelancer that produces videos for such clients, then it's actually very interesting. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking this new AI voiceover feature from Artlist is for. And I generally think that you should check out Artlist if you haven't done yet, because again, they have so much stuff on their website, from music, sound effects, voiceovers, stock footage, great log and raw stock footage especially, and also all those plugins and templates. Like this is really like a one-stop shop where you can get pretty much everything you need for your filmmaking needs. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this AI voiceover feature and AI in general for filmmaking. Aside from that, we're usually doing tutorials, camera reviews and other stuff that comes into my mind on this channel. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing, and I see you in my upcoming videos.